Hello, people of the world of the internet watching new vehicle reviews. Welcome to this, the 2025 Volvo EX30 Ultra, which is the fastest production car Volvo has ever produced. So today I'm gonna get this thing up in the air, we're gonna nerd out in the tech specs, see how it's constructed, and then go give it the beans. All right, check out this little spicy bubble. Who chewed on the license plate? That's wild. That's neat. There's a little shelf right here in the diffuser. I appreciate that. Thick plastic is good plastic. It's probably like 4 or 5 millimeter, a little less than 1/4 inch. Out back, the EX30 utilizes a 5-link multi-link rear suspension with aluminum knuckles. All the links are stamped steel, other than that upper one right there is also aluminum. The spring bucket has a little plastic arrow shield. As far as the dampers go, they are house blend Volvo, manufactured in China, as is almost every component I see under the car says made in China, but they just opened a plant in Belgium, so I don't know if this is one of the pre-Belgium plant vehicles for journalists to drive. The rear anti-sway bars you see here goes rearward into that diffuser and measures in at approximately only 21.5 millimeter in diameter. You can see it does use a steel subframe, very heavy duty looking. If you look just behind the rear tire here, that wire harness plug is fairly exposed right there behind where a bunch of water and slush and mud and debris will go. As much as I'd love to depanel this thing to get a better look at it, I don't think Volvo would be very happy. There's nothing up here other than a bracket and some robot spaghetti going to the battery. Tons of seam sealer on the chassis, but also there's this weird gray paste by the jack point. This Volvo EX30 Ultra dual motor performance model, chassis code EK, is built on Geely's C2 platform, a Chinese auto manufacturer we do not have here in the United States. And this car weighs in at 4,140 pounds. Bringing up the middle, giant aluminum plate for the battery pack. And that battery is a 69 kilowatt hour NMC unit, which stands for lithium, nickel, magnesium, cobalt. The L is silent. Liniments. As far as the transmissions go, technically there are 2 of them. They are single-speed integrated reduction gears incorporated into the front and rear propulsion systems, which means it is technically a single-speed automatic transmission, if you were to look at it that way. And because this is all-wheel drive, the systems are completely divorced from one another. It is capable of sending the torque instantaneously whenever, wherever it is needed. You'll notice they chose to use actual hardware rather than spot welds for the sheet metal pieces. So if you get in a collision, that might, in theory, make replacement simpler. As you can see, the pinch weld area is made out of steel, and that appears to be a little opening for salt water to come flying off the front tire and go down into if you live in a snowy climate. Up front, the X30 utilizes a McPherson strut style front suspension with steel lower control arms. Again, up front, aluminum knuckles. The lower ball joint portion does appear to be removable from the is that rivets? Why would you do that? You made it removable, then you put a rivet. The front anti-sway bar measures in at approximately 28 millimeter and change diameter. Again, it's paired with a set of house blend Volvo coilover front dampers. More plastic up front, and you know what? I'm fine with that. I'm glad they didn't use Terry cardboard. It's really thin, kind of like composite plastic. The front is neat. It's got dimpling in it, like a golf ball. Whoa, there's a little access door. Oh, I have to know. What? Oh, weird. It's a wire. It is connected to red terminals, positive pole, when using, weird. It must be for wiring up an accessory. Maybe for like fog lights up top or something. Front chin spoiler, nice thick plastic too. That would take a hit. All right, it's time for the braking test. Nothing behind me. Ready, set, go. Okay. That was surprisingly good. I mean, considering this thing weighs a hair over 4,000 pounds, that was surprisingly good. I was not expecting that. Shorter than at what I was expecting stopping distance wise. Very smooth, kind of firm pedal feel. Stable, tiny bit of nosedive, but great, actually great braking. That braking was just made possible thanks to a single piston caliper with a 350mm or 13.8-inch rotor. The wheels, they are a 19x8 with a positive 48.5mm offset alloy wrapped in a set of two 45, 19-inch Michelin Primacy all-season tires. As you'll notice, there are no lug nuts because that's a plastic aero shield. So that's not actually what the wheel looks like. This alloy portion's the wheel. Well, you know I can't resist. High five, bud. Inner fender liners are plastic, no hairy cardboard. And as far as the ride height goes, about a fist or so. It's 6.5 inches of ground clearance. Oh, there is vents. I just noticed that. Aero. Active grille shutters currently closed in front of the AC condenser and heat exchangers. Zippy. Side skirts are texturized black plastic. Can't get rock chips on that, but I would like to see an optional body color one. Lower this thing also, slam it on its ass. I like that the inner fender liner has this protruding plastic lip to protect the paint from rock chips right here on the edge. And out back, oh, that's hairy cardboard. That's some thick hairy cardboard. Out back, you have another single piston caliper with a 333mm or 13.1-inch rotor, not much smaller than you have up front. The wheel and tire, same size as you have up front. Well, that's sick. I just noticed the taillight. This is actually a clear shield and it's got these weird 3D pieces inside that illuminate for the turn signals in reverse. People of the internet, it has begun. The giveaway on my 1983 Datsun 280ZX. There's no purchase necessary to enter or win. The full rules and details of the giveaway are listed on my website, sarentuned.com, where you can also subsequently go to purchase merchandise. Every dollar spent gains you an entry to win either this car or a cash-only prize option if you don't want the car. So you'll be seeing a lot more of this thing coming up in upcoming videos, doing a little mini build series on it. Thanks. In the name of science, it is now time to give it the beans. But first, I must conduct assessment of bolstering. There's not a lot of bolstering to this car. Not a lot of bolstering to these seats. The seats are heated. Tap on that guy, as well as the steering wheel is heated. 3 levels, but they are lined in wool. And I have to say, I think this is one of my favorite seat material options. It's super comfortable and it feels really durable. It's got the little Swedish flag on there. And the steering wheel is square, kind of. As far as drive modes go, if you go into the infotainment screen and select settings, it's kind of hidden in here. Go to driving. If you scroll down, you can see I have steering feel. You can adjust the steering feel. And then performance all-wheel drive. This is a massive difference in the level of performance feel you get driving this car, especially right off the line, like an on-off switch, literally. It also has a hill descent mode because they market this as an SUV. Car companies got to stop calling everything round with 4 wheels an SUV. It's getting ridiculous. This is a hatchback. ESC off. There are no flappy paddles in the back of the steering wheel for regeneration adjustment. So I'm gonna leave that disabled. Got a camera mounted on the front wheel for a traction cam. See what this thing can do on a launch. Ready? Go. Okay. Oh, jeez. This thing's awesome. That's already really good. This thing is f***ing quick. It's so quick that it actually spit up washer fluid out of the rear washer squirter. There was so much G-force that it just peed a little bit. That'll happen if you're not ready for it. Ah, this will be interesting. Is there actually a hood popper? Well, there is. Hood pop. I am genuinely excited to see what is under here. Oh, there's no thing. Hood struts. That satin finish on the moss yellow looks like a 1980s fire truck with a Detroit 2-stroke diesel in it. That's very highly specific. That's kind of neat though, the structure. Underneath the fluid of the 2025 Volvo EX30 Ultra is one of 2 permanent magnet synchronous electric motors. The larger motor out back on its own produces 268 horsepower, whereas the smaller one up front produces 154 horsepower, giving you a total combined system output for the car of 422 horsepower from 5,375 to 9,536 RPM and 400 pound-feet of torque from 112 to 5,475 RPM. Highly specific numbers, I know, but it gives you a nice flat, chunky horsepower and torque band on the power band. Digging in a little bit deeper, literally, I'm gonna dig in deeper under the hood. Got a little panel that comes off. Oh, we got a coolant expansion chamber, little brake master cylinder. Of course, the washer fluid over there, simple layout. And then underneath the other one, oh, that's just a little compartment. Oh, that's cute. It has a little hieroglyph of a moose and a little Volvo EX30 headed towards it. I really hope that they're paying attention and that moose isn't standing in front of them, or else its motors are gonna end up swapped into a much older Volvo vehicle. It's not a very big storage area. You could probably put like a first aid kit, maybe a tiny bit of tools in there, something, a blanket. The power inverter is mounted right up here on the very top. Check this out. Boom, use the expansion chamber to create a neat ambiance. Yeah, it's pretty simple looking inside there. Lots of coolant lines. I presume that is the lid to the fuse box. Not really a fan of that location. You have to depanel to get to it. I mean, yeah, overall it's pretty simple under here, especially if you took off this outer plastic trim. It'd be really easy to access stuff. I mean, this thing looks pretty damn simple to work on. It's all relevant to the knowledge and skill level of the technician, obviously, with an EV, but if you can work on one thing, you can work on another. Jeez, it literally broke the tires loose when I did that. With the traction control turned off, this thing will literally spin, I feel like all 4 tires, especially if you're coming around a corner, like taking off, turning right or left. It shifts around. Like literally the last time I felt something like that was in an 800 wheel horse Mitsubishi Evo. That amount of torque, that instantaneous, out of something all-wheel drive this size is pretty amazing. I will say though, you get all that torque down low and it pulls like crazy up to a certain point, because this thing's top speed, it tops out at 112 miles per hour, and you get all that punch and shove down low, which makes it feel incredibly quick. And that's what this car is. It's a quick car. So I wouldn't necessarily say this is the fastest production car Volvo has ever made, because 112, yeah, there's definitely been Volvos that have gone more than 112 miles per hour. But the way it gets up to that speed is just mind-blowing. You can make yourself sick. Handling wise, okay, yep. Conflicted. It handles pretty good. It's 4,000 pounds and just over 4,000 pounds, and you notice it, but the weight is down low. The short wheelbase makes it playful, makes it kind of shifty. I mean, it handles good. It handles well. I would definitely, if I was gonna buy one of these as a performance car to have fun with, I would lower it. Absolutely, I'd upgrade the suspension on it and I would lower it. There's a little bit of wind noise, but that's mainly my GoPro stuck to the front. Overall, it's pretty quiet in here. The steering feel, even though it is adjustable in this setting, it's still kind of video gamey, but not bad. The one thing I do like though is the brake pedal feel. It's soft, but soft in a nice, controllable way. Like I don't know, I feel like you get a good feel for what the brakes are doing. It's strange. The throttle input is just like a light switch though when you have it in the performance setting. It doesn't matter what speed you're going at, it'll shove you in the seat. It's got grip for days. It's hard to upset this thing. It does a great job at putting the power where and when it needs to be. Oh, it's gonna start raining and my wipers are whacking my GoPro. Yep, tech features are pretty dumb. Stop. Windshield wipers. Rain sense. Oh no, you can't defeat the rain sensing windshield wipers. Yeah, that's a massive flaw with vehicles like this, is they make it just too heavy tech reliant. There's a point in which a vehicle has so much tech that it just becomes irritating. And I don't feel like they're gonna last very long, because tech features generally don't age well. How many people do you know carrying around a 30-year-old cell phone in their pocket or using a 30-year-old laptop for work? I feel like there's a little bit of throwback to the original Volvo C30 with the shape back here. It took me forever to figure out where the popper was to open this hatch. Tiny little wiper. Robots. Hatchback for the win. It's actually a nice feeling carpet material that's in here, and if you lift this lid up, which is like super thick. It's got a little plastic thing. There's another storage area where you can just throw your charge cable in there because no one's got time to roll that thing up. There's a little 12 volt old school cigarette lighter style outlet back here, an LED light and a hook, a tether for your babies to drop anchor. Oh, that's cute. Will it fit? Baby stroller, luggage, welding gas, a robot, a lamp, and golf sticks. That shape does not look like this vehicle, or a Volvo for that matter. Robot. Considering how tiny this car is, it's seriously like the size of a Volkswagen Golf. It is not large. I got ample legroom and, oh, that's neat. It's like a little leatherette vinyl. The map pockets have that matching pale yellow soft fabric inside there. That's cute. Whoa, that's neat. I have the dual USB-C ports in my window controls on this little center island back here. And a slot. Oh, neat. And it's a pass-through for down below. Oh, that's adorable. The little moose again. The rear seat door cards, actual metal door handles and trim. That's soft fabric leatherette. That neat textured plastic, some more wool. Nice little subtle design touches on the interior. That shines in that area. There's a little hook of some form. It looks like it was cold when they made this. That's strange. There's no armrest to fold down. The people in the back seat benefit from this giant glass roof more than anyone because your view back here, you feel like you're in a planet observatory. I bet if you drove it at night, it would literally be like one. This has to be one of my least favorite features about this, and most modern cars now have this. Granted, you can turn this feature off. However, it automatically defaults to on when you start the vehicle. And speaking of starting the vehicle, there is no physical start-stop button at all. You just get out and walk away from it and it shuts off. The HVAC vents are these neat little vertical clear bars. Very stylish interior. Has interesting dash trim material in here. It looks like the backside of fiberglass, like just unfinished fiberglass or robot wool. You can see it does have color changing ambient lights underneath it. It blends in nicely with the gray wool color. There's a vertical wireless phone charger and then just a cubby to store your passengers. Inside the center console storage area, you can lift these up. It's like this pale banana yellow underneath. I like that the color peeks through. Same with the center armrest. It's got that pale banana yellow down hidden inside it. A little cup holder, some rubber tablets. And then there's this guy, the proximity key, which I believe works off RFID on the side of the car. It's a nice concept, but not really my favorite to use. The window controls and the door locks are right here in the center of the armrest. Oh, that slides. Oh, weird. Oh, it comes all the way out. That's neat. But this doesn't lift up. Speaking of hidden cubbies, you can select glove box and a little glove box popped up out of the woodworks. Even the areas where you normally have just basic bland textured plastic, you get this weird speckled kind of stucco looking pattern plastic. These are just map lights. There is no form of shade to close over the giant glass roof. I don't know how I feel about that. As far as the infotainment system goes, it's literally just a tablet. That's the entire screen for everything. You don't even have a gauge cluster. It's just this. There are no buttons either. It's just this. You have to tap on this little fan blade for the climate control. And while it does have an air filtration system, which is pretty impressive for the price of the vehicle to have this built in, as well as timers so you can precondition the vehicle before you get in and out of it, the fact that there are no physical controls for the climate control other than just this screen, I'm not a super fan of. The sound system in this thing is no joke. Just over 1,000 watts, incredibly crisp, clear. That doesn't get old. You actually make yourself nauseous if you do it enough in one trip. The number one highlight about this car that stood out to me when I first saw it in person was the size. It is the same size as a VW Golf. Like, I can see the apex of a corner right there. It's nimble feeling, it's tiny, and for the level of performance you get, I mean, 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds is a rocket in something this small. If you really look at the price of what this costs, the performance you get, and compare it against Ioniq 5N, this is way smaller. It feels smaller driving it. Yeah, it doesn't simulate the fake shifts and fake internal combustion engine sounds, but at the end of the day, I feel like you'd get tired of that in the Hyundai, and it would just kind of get gimmicky over time, and it'd make you miss the real thing from an actual internal combustion engine performance vehicle. Whereas this isn't trying to be something it's not, it's just purely an electric car. It's silent, it doesn't have any fake sounds in it, and it goes like hell. The interior feels like a much more expensive vehicle than it is. The materials that they use just kind of have an exotic, unique feel to it. It's very Volvo feeling, actually, even though this is not a Volvo, it's built on a Geely platform. Now, as far as efficiency and range goes, supposedly this is supposed to have 265 miles of range, at least according to the Volvo website. The best I've seen on one charge was 220 miles range, and on average, on a full charge at 100%, I'm seeing about 188, 189 miles of range. That's drastically less. Now, there are some things that I can't stand about it. The safety features, the little robot thing spying on you while you're driving. If you even look away for a second, watch it not do it now because I'm complaining. There, see the little beep beep? Sometimes it feels like it does it just if you just barely glance over at your speedometer, it's yelling at you. Also, the one pedal driving mode, which I just enabled. I mean, I'm letting off the throttle right now. It's not really, doesn't really feel like much of a one pedal drive. Now, I'm not an economist or a politicalist. Either way, it'll probably come up about the fact that this is owned by a Chinese company, Geely. This car I'm driving right here is made in China. However, they just opened a plant to build this in Belgium to avoid tariffs. And that's a thing that I must at least mention because I know it'll get brought up. Also, the lack of a government tax rebate on EVs, if that becomes a thing. I really don't think that will matter with the cost of this car. I mean, 47 grand for a car that does 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. It is now time to give this Volvo some scores. Starting with the bean score, the assessment of the feeling you get behind your belly button when you give it the beans. And the EX30 Ultra is getting a rating of quick. It's quick. It's like a little pissed off lemon drop. Or what are those sour ones? Lemon heads. It's a pissed off lemon head. I'd be pissed off if you ate a lemon head and no one told you it was sour. What did I just do to this thing? Followed by the cookie score, the assessment of value, and this top trim spec Ultra model at $48,000 gets a rating of, I mean, for a vehicle that does 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, just purely on a performance measure, that's pretty damn good. Followed by the wrench score, the assessment of ease of maintenance, and it earns a rating of. Followed by the squid score, the assessment of handling, and earned a rating of. Lastly, the penguin score, the assessment on how much I personally like a vehicle, and the EX30 Ultra gets a rating of. I'll say this, as far as purely a piece of machinery goes, this is probably my favorite EV vehicle I have driven to date, which I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for because they're gonna say, what about the Ioniq 5N? That thing was great, but this is the proper size for a hot hatch. It's still a little heavier than I would like, but this is the closest thing to an EV hot hatch I've driven. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'll see you soon with another. Bye.